So welcome back to my review of the Festool CT15e Hepa dust collector. Apologize that it took so long, but I actually recorded a full review video a couple of weeks ago, but the manual focus, the autofocus was just going wild and kind of messed up half the video. So here we are at it again. Today, I'm just going to give you a real quick, good, concise review with a lot of information. With all the information I'll be able to provide you after having owned this for about 3 weeks. Right now, I'm just doing some initial cleanup, chiseling out these dovetails, and so I've got a little bit of waste that we'll clean up, and I'll show you kind of the typical thing that I use it for here in my garage, and explain to you the benefits you can get out of this if you're like me. As you can see, I work here in one side of a two-car garage. I don't have much space at all. I don't have room for a full-size dust collector, really, a wall mount. And I like being able to have the blower function as well. That's really important for cleaning tools and just blowing dust out of the garage and things like that. So, for me, this was pretty much the best compromise I could find as far as getting a dust extractor. Now, it'll work for tools like my mortiser or the sander and things like that. I mean, it's not going to work on my bandsaw or jointer and that, but that's fine because I just let it fall on the ground. I'll tell you one thing though, if you're working in your own garage like myself, and you have something like this, I mean, you're not going to be able to escape a good old broom and dustpan. I mean, it's just going to be part of it, and that's fine. I do just fine with that. But I need something that has enough power to clean up chips and debris, as well as a blower function that's got enough push to get that dirt and stuff out of the gears in my machines. So just a real quick test, and then I'll give you a comparison with this little $25 wet dry shop vac that I bought at the big box stores, just so you can see how the Festool compares to something really cheap. So a couple of things real quick. First of all, this I'm going to tell you about this hose here. I'm not real thrilled about this hose. It's okay. It slips and slides everywhere. It doesn't want to coil up that easily. It's just kind of a pain. But one of the things that I don't think is really that great in design is that see, this basically, you just take this and then you insert it. Okay. But when you want to pull it out, sometimes it gets in there pretty good. There's nothing on it to grip on. There's no lip or rib or texture so that you can pull it out easily. Sometimes, if you got big hands like me, sometimes you inadvertently pull on the hose and, who knows how long they'll last before it breaks it. I mean, so I have to be real careful when I pull it out. So, it would be nice if there was some kind of grip or something to it, but, that's the way they built it. It comes with a couple of attachments. Right now, I put this on there. This is great for the blower because it'll kind of push the air out through a smaller opening and give it a little bit more concentrated shot. So this is like for cleaning tools. Plus I can reach down in between my table saw gears and get that. This is the vacuum function now. As you see, I've got some waste from my dovetails. This is the kind of typical stuff that I would clean up in my garage when I'm doing work. So let me go ahead and plug it in, pick up a little bit of waste for you. So as you can see, that pretty much effortlessly just swept up all the debris. Now, I could have done more, but I wanted to give you a little comparison. So I've got this little $25 shop back here that I bought from one of the big box stores, and well, the CT15 is 130 CFM. This is only 60. But we'll give it a comparison and see how much the suction power, how well the suction power works on this. My bad, I had it on the blower. So as you can see, this has pretty good suction. It's able to pick up some of the bigger chunks. Now, of course, you know, I wouldn't try to pick up these kind of chunks from my dovetails with the vac. I just sweep them up, but you get the idea. I mean, when it comes to suction power, I can't say necessarily that this is real impressive when you compare it to this, which seems to just, you know, suck up this kind of stuff fairly well, you know, but it's adequate. So this has an adequate suction pressure. Now, often I'll have a lot of shavings and things fall down in my tools and stuff on the table. I like having a good, adequate suction for it because I don't want to put it too close or it'll start picking up nuts and bolts and stuff. But if it can drill low enough and I can pretty much pick up my shavings, you know, you see it won't pick up these little nuts and things like that if I have them laying around. So the suction power on this is adequate. You know, it does a good job. Now, I'll show you another quick test here momentarily and another little comparison on the blower. Now, the blower is one of the features of this that I wanted to know about, but none of the reviews were talking about it. So this dovetails I'm working on here, I've got some waste that I've cleared out of it just initially before I chisel out my waste area. You know, I've left some chunks like this. You know, as I was telling you before, you're not going to get away from a dustpan in a room, not in a garage like this or in a cramped environment, because you got to have tools. And I'm not a big fan of the all-in-one tools because, you know, there's more points of failure and usually not as good. They're usually not as good quality as, you know, single-function tools or whatever, like a planer and jointer combo and those kind of things. I'm not a real big fan of those, but you know, in my little workshop here, it's really important to keep the dust up because I also have a home gym where I train at, and I can't breathing that stuff in while I'm training, and I can't, you know, have dust all over my punching bag, my weights and things like that. So, you know, it's having a good dust extractor is a good thing. Now, I eventually plan on getting an air filter, hopefully, which will help me keep some of this dust out of the air from inside my garage. But for right now, it's adequate and it works well, and I'm able to build all kinds of furniture and things. And as you can see, this is going to be a pretty long console for a guitar, for 2 guitar amplifier heads with 2 speakers, and this is just one of the panels from it. So I can do some fairly big-sized projects just here on this tiny little work area that I have. So, you know, is this dust extractor adequate for my use? Well, yeah, I can build cabinets. I've got little dovetail drawers, things that I build. I mean, just all kinds of furniture projects, and it works just fine. So it's a good investment if you're kind of a home amateur builder like myself. Now, I told you I'd review the blower function, show you a little bit about that. But there's a storm coming in, so let me pause for a minute. So I've shown you a little bit, really briefly, you know, as much as you're going to need to know of how it picks up. I'm sure you can find much better information or demonstrations on other reviews, but I want to show you the blower function real quick. Now, this is by no means a scientific test, and I'm not trying to say it validates anything, okay? But just to kind of give you an idea of how the blower functions, I'm going to use this little foam brush, okay? And I'll put it here on I'll put it right here on the workbench, okay, so you can see it. Now, I'll basically just put the blower in front of it, a couple inches away, maybe move it a little closer back, and see how much it gives, okay? So we'll start with the Festool. Alright, so this is on full blast. As you can see, now, as I was telling you earlier, if I put a mirror or attachment on it, I might be able to get a little more complicated and see it does a pretty good job of blowing out dust and things like that. Now, here's a quick test of this $25 shop vac here. So this has also got about the same diameter attachment. You can see that it doesn't really give as much. So certainly a lot more power in the blower from the Festool. Now we put a smaller attachment on it here. Can't get a better low pressure, but that's about as good as it's going to get. So like I said, this isn't scientific test or anything. You know, it's not. I'm not trying to say that that's incredible. Just to give you kind of an idea of how the blower function works compared to something that you could just buy in any store. Overall, I find this Festool product, you know, fairly good. There's a couple of things. For example, it comes with a bungee, and it has these little plastic ends on it, which are kind of flimsy. I mean, I don't think it's going to last long. I think that those things probably will eventually break. I don't know why they don't make them any better. There are a couple of things like the gates, the plastic gates and latches and that. They're kind of flimsy. You know, when you're in a workshop, you need durable stuff. You know, I mean, you're going to bump into things, drop things, you know, and if you bump into the little gate while it's open or pull the cord too hard on accident or actually jerk the cord or whatever, you might break the exhaust gate or just a number of things. So, sure, I think Festool could have maybe put a little bit better quality into some of the components. One thing, though, puzzles me is that there's no way to break this thing. The rollers on it are very good. It rolls around effortlessly. It goes where you want it. It doesn't like get stuck leaning over trying to turn. It just effortlessly rolls around. I haven't had any trouble with it. But there's no brake on it. So if you're working on a driveway like me or something, you know, it could easily just get away from you. I don't know why they didn't put a little brake or something on there. I mean, it's it'd be nice. I mean, if they were to keep costs down, but I really doubt a feature like that would cost that much, especially from what I'm told other models have that. I'm not sure, but so overall, I think it was a pretty good investment. I think it's good for someone like me in a garage like this. I don't think it's all that great if you want to clean up after your power tools. And if you're one of those guys who are all Festool fanboys and you got the sander and the grinder and all their different little tools and you like to buy their sandpaper and whatever and their domino, you know, I don't think this would probably be your first choice. You know, you'll need a little bit more capacity and a little bit more power, though inexplicably, I'm not really sure why the much more, I mean, you could buy one that costs twice as much and it's still like 137 CFM. You're not really getting much more out of it in terms of power. So, I'm not really sure on that one, but that's pretty much what I use it for, and those are my overall thoughts on it so far. I hope it's been helpful. I hope you guys will tune in to some more reviews I've got coming along. I've been dying to review this Powermatic mortiser. This is one of my favorite tools. It's so much fun. It's so great to work with, and it does such a really good job of mortising. Also, I've got a whole variety of table saws, and my latest one here is a 4-up Toolworks 9-inch dovetail saw, and that's another saw I'd like to review and give you a comparison of between the Lie-Nielsen and the Veritas saws as well, and I'll tell you what I think about that. And of course, I have some other reviews, some other power tools I'd like to review for you. So please give a like, click subscribe, and support my channel so I can continue to bring you more reviews. And if you have any questions, leave a question in the comment box. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.